So this one is all going to be from the perspective of the client. So the client will be doing most of the work and they might just use you for that occasional bit of support, that little check-in on some of the areas, on some of the work that's been done. But again, with this one, it all depends on how involved you want to be with the client. This software that we're going to look at now, it could be clients that just need that extra functionality. Therefore, this is going to be the right choice. So like I said, this is all going to be from the perspective of the client. And what we will do actually as we go through is we will add a little bit in there around what you would be doing. And that's potentially what you could be doing within the bank feed. So this software, it has more functionality, so more features. So our client, they're CIS registered. They might need to split things out over different jobs that they're doing through analysis types. And with Making Tax Digital, this works in a very similar way to what we saw with Accounts Prep, where the chart of accounts codes, so all our nominal codes, are then aligned with an income tax category. So again, as long as the client's putting the right nominal code on, it means it'll fall into the right section for income or expenses as part of the quarterly update. With our client, they need to create some invoices. So this client, they're just going to go through and create a customer email, which is a CIS one. So popping in some information, they've got their services already saved, so it's saving them time instead of creating those invoices manually, and it's keeping them consistent so that they look the same, whether it's branding, whether it's a layout. Off the back of this particular invoice, our client, they also want to email it out. So they're using the functionality that's built in with Sage Copilot, where AI can then write the message out for them. So whether it's going to be informal, formal, more direct, and that information that we see within the body of the email, that's all personalized. So making that quick, professional to be sent out to their customers. Our clients are plumbers, so they're out on the go all the time. So because they're out on the go, they've downloaded the mobile app. And in the mobile app, they've got a wide range of different things that they'll be doing. So they might be creating the invoice. So the invoice that you've just seen, they might be in the mobile app instead, creating an invoice for plumbing services in this example. And they might be setting due dates to manage their payments more efficiently. And like we said there, they can still connect all their services that they've got stored. So that would remember pricing to make the invoicing process a lot more efficient than what it was with them creating it manually. They're now just looking at a bit of an example of the invoice. You can see all the logos on there. And because they were struggling with late payments, they've integrated Stripe where they're using the tap to pay feature. So their clients can just tap their phone and pay the money there and then if needed. So what our clients done is they've sent the invoice out to their customer. And what the customer gets is they get a pay now invoice. So they can see the invoice attached as a PDF. They can go to pay the invoice now. And top right hand side, you can see options to whether pay in full or part pay. So again, struggling with late payments, they're using the integration with Stripe for their clients, their customers to be able to pop in the details and pay straight away. Our client, they're also using the mobile app to be able to upload. So they can upload receipts and invoices. So an example one here, our clients went in, took a photo of their invoice, and that'll then get processed through what's called purchase automation. And purchase automation will extract the data and it's there to be reviewed and checked. Built in, you've got Sage Copilot. And Sage Copilot is across many areas in the software, and it's going to give insights into draft sales invoices, overdue invoices, the VAT deadline, as you can see at the top as well, because this client's VAT registered. And they can then manage any reminders off the back of that. So in this case, there's 4 invoices that are overdue. So our clients just send them a nice, friendly, informal message just to give them a bit of a push to make that payment. And off the back of that, it's then sending out 4 emails in one go so that they can then get that money in that little bit faster. So rather than going through the reminder process like this client is now, you've also got built in the summary section an area where you can go through setting up automatic payment reminders. So our client just there, they're being very reactive, seeing that those invoices are overdue. What they could do is they can set it up as automatic payment reminders instead. So being able to be proactive, where they can set it up to send out reminders automatically. So whether it's over a certain value, they can set it up to be sent before or after the invoice. So being more proactive by sending out 5 days before, and they can still use the functionality around Copilot, which then personalizes that message that's sent out. And they can even exclude different clients if required. So our customer, they went into the mobile app and they took a photo of an invoice. So within the draft section in purchases, we can now see that invoice that was uploaded. So AI, which is built in, that'll extract the details, the values, the due date, whether that's getting uploaded via the mobile app or whether that's being dragged and dropped, whether that's being emailed into the system. You've got that functionality built in, which will remove errors. So AI will read that information out, it learns as it goes, as well as reducing the time for our client to be entering those purchase invoices. And this is an example of our client just going through, looking at an invoice that's been extracted. So we can see descriptions, it'll split out VAT rates, again, with our client being VAT registered. And off the back of that, it's an opportunity now for our client just to approve it. And that'll then go into the purchase area with a digital copy, so digital image attached to that purchase invoice. From a bank account point of view, you've got the options to be able to connect a bank feed, so whether that's a live bank feed or whether that's an import. And we can see there we've got a Stripe account in there as well. So we've integrated Stripe, so automatic transactions will appear because the postings will happen by itself if clients are paying by Stripe. Within the bank feed, our client can make the use of automatic matching. So when invoices are raised and items appear on the bank feed, then the software is going to automatically try and match those items if possible. And matching those off, again, removing that allocation process because some of that happens automatically. As an accountant, what we do also get is we do get the option to do what's called quick coding. So it's not something the client can do, but you might have clients where you might be doing this part of the work for them. So you might be going through the bank statement. So using the quick coding, which is built into the bank feed, it's quite a new feature if you haven't seen it before, but it allows you to reorder columns, it allows you to highlight in bulk. And off the back of that information, I'm able to add contacts, I can add in categories, I can save items in bulk, and even add in VAT rates, again, if the client's VAT registered. So that quick coding, it isn't something the client gets. It's only available if you're logging in via Partner Edition or Sage for Accountants. But the client can still make the use of things like bank feed rules. Again, something I'd definitely be saying for any clients to set up. Once that work's been done, we're then using the software to then submit, say, a VAT return. So our client's VAT registered, so we do that through the program, as well as our quarterly update. And if our client needs to see, what is owed, what do they owe, you've got things like age debtors reports, creditor reports, you've got an audit trail report. And with our client being CIS registered, our client can submit the CIS return or see what's been suffered. Within the platform, you can then submit your quarterly update. And the quarterly update, the user interface is exactly the same across the board. So whether you're an accounts prep, accounting individual, or Sage Accounting, you're then going to compile those figures, which are all driven off your nominal codes, and then you're able to send that quarterly update out over to HMRC directly from the software with any tax estimates being returned at the same time.